Okay everyone, welcome back. So we're still doing the Easter projects, and I've got to finish the Easter projects before the daffodils die. Trust me, it's a Fiona thing. So we're going to make another little bag. This one is going to be more substantial, so for use for after Easter. No, I suppose that's wrong, that one's quite substantial. Anyway, I couldn't decide which two bags I wanted to make, so I couldn't decide which of the two bags I wanted to make, so I'm going to make two. And I can. That's the nice thing about this. So I bought a packet of felt. It's slightly different than felt that you would buy off a ream, I think, but who knows. And, oh, we've lost our daffodils. There we go. We'll keep them there. Those ones aren't going to die, they're fabric. So, I'm going to choose two colours. I think I put the green at the bottom because I don't really like the green. No, I'll put the beige at the bottom because I don't really like the beige. And we're going to do a circle base on this one. So I am literally cheating. I haven't got a circle thing to copy. So, but I suppose you could use a bowl or something like that, anything, you know, or CD, DVD. So I folded it like that so that I can then bury my scissors again. And then I can just curve it off to a circle. What I'm going to do is then I'm going to look at the circle and see if I've gone terribly wrong. But I think I should be okay. So, yes, gone terribly wrong. Look, I've got 2/4. They're quite nice though. Quite accurate. So let's do that again. I'm going to fold it into 4. And I'm going to keep the folds on the centre. And then I'm going to fold it into 8 because of, I might as well. So this time, I'm going to trim round. And hopefully it will look like a circle. May not, I may have to sort of trim some corners. It's quite thick and I'm only using craft scissors. So there we go. Very simple. It's a bit bigger than I thought, but who knows. So yes, a very tatty circle. I can keep those bits for another project. Loads of other projects in mind. Now, what I would like to do is have a basket that comes down at the front and then it's over the back so we can fold it over if we want to on a later date. And I'd like to use this lovely lilac and this lovely sort of mint green. It's like a soft green. So I need to work out what sort of is halfway, and I think I'm right in saying that one of these works, luckily, to halfway. So, and I would like it to curve round, but I would like it to only be halfway round. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go a little bit over halfway, but as these are together, then I can line them up quite well. Lovely. So those are going to be there. Don't we love felt? It's just so obedient. And then at the back, it's going to be slightly higher so that I've got that bit to fold. Oh, I do hope I'm making sense. I really do. Okay, so I'm going to use the bits I've already cut as a guide because I want them to be at the same height at the middle, and then I want this bit to go up. So I can actually fold that over and fold that round. So there we are. That's my cutting process. I can copy this out on a bit of paper and put it on Facebook. And you're welcome to have a look-see. That would be grand. Especially better if you like my page and if you subscribe to my videos because I'm quite prolific. Alright, now I've got my 4 bits, and as I'm going to sort of alternate them in a harlequin pattern, I would like to just cut this in half, and I'm literally folding it and using the natural fold of the cloth to do my half. Okay, now I think it would look best with a long strap going over the top. So with these two that are left over, I am literally going to do what the fabric allows and make 4 strips, which I'm going to sew again, and I'm going to use the harlequin. I'm going to alternate it. So, but I'm well aware that this is really rough cut, so what I'm going to do is trim it, and I might even trim it using my pinking shears, so which are just here, so to keep it nice and funky. And what I'll probably do is I'll put a line of thread up and over as well. This will just give it a bit of strength, so, because I think felt loses integrity when it gets wet. Okay, so now my bits all out of the way. Some of them I haven't even touched. The first part is to sew the sides together for me. So I've got my machine here. And I've given myself a little bit of a hem allowance, not that much though, but I'm going to use the sewing machine stitches as part of the design. I see what's going wrong with this machine. Okay, right. 2 days ago I serviced this machine, and which is all very well, you shouldn't you? And I took a video of it. And then I thought the video wasn't good enough, so I thought, well, half an hour I'll service my machine again and go through the video again. And since then it's been really, really unwell, so, but I've just realised that it was set still on a really bad stitch, so it's my own fault. Okay, so these are my other bits. And I want to go purple, and then I want to go green again. Now I'm using the sewing machine for speed. The thing is that I'm quite happy sewing on the sewing machine. I know some people, they absolutely adore hand sewing, and I do hand sewing as quite a last resort. So if you'd like to do this hand sewn, good, it will look so much better, and maybe you could do some nice embroidery stitches just to accentuate it. That would be really, really good. So I've just got the last yeah, I just broke that because I thought it wasn't long enough, so salvage. And then we go, I'm just going to thread this again, which sometimes I have to switch the camera off because I can't do it. I just can't do it. Okay, so, yes. Lovely, so I'm literally got one more to go, and I don't know if there's a right side and wrong side to felt. I'm pretty sure that there isn't, because that's the nature of it. And then I'm going to sew the bottom on. So I'm just going to line these up here. Now if I wanted to give myself a bit more of a hem allowance, I could do, or if when I finished I didn't feel my seams were straight, I'd be quite happy just to trim these. So there we are, and then that will fold over, and I'll put a little catch there or something, and yeah, I'm quite happy with that. I think it's quite a fun design. So I'm going to take my base now, and I'm going to start probably not right in the middle of the design. So I'm just off to the side. I'm going to start just before a seam. This is just to make life easy for myself. So, and I'm going to push the seams flat every time by lifting the foot and just tweezing it with my fingers. So you can hear the slight difference in pitch when it goes over a seam. if I can do it whilst I'm sewing, I will do. I don't think I can. Yeah, it just makes it lie flat. I think it looks a bit tidier, and it won't push the fabric out of the way, so I get a nice even finish. Lovely. Just coming up to another one. I was sewing felt the other day for a video, and the machine made a real funny noise, and then I looked down and I realised that I was sewing through the price tag, and the machine was just complaining a bit about the paper on the sticker. So yes, ignore me if I stop suddenly, because I'm probably going to do it again. My last seam that I'm going over, so I'm just going to whiz around and get to the front. Lovely. So there we are, that's that part. I'm not 100% sure whether I'm turning that inside out or whether I'm not turning that inside out. I think I'll have to wait and see. I think it'll look nice both ways, so, because I quite like the rustic, I really do. Now it wouldn't be too difficult to line this as well, so, but I'm not going to today. So these need to be joined together, and I'm not, yeah, I think what I'll do is I'll just do it like this, and of course I'm going to keep the harlequin style, and this is good because I don't need large amounts of fabric for that. All I need is a little squares, which I think you can buy everywhere, can't you? Like I bought a multi-pack, but if I was planning to do this with all one colour, then I think I would need to buy it off the roll, and then I'd have to go to a specialist shop, and then I wouldn't really feel like I had a bargain at all, because it would be just, yeah, and I probably wouldn't be able to use the colours either. So yeah, I think I'm waffling. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm literally going to run 2 lots of seams, stitches, and this is just to strengthen it. And what I'll probably do, well, what I'm going to do is switch off the camera so you don't get really bored. Okay, I think this might be too long actually. What I think I'll do is just use 2 lilac ones, because they're the prettier colour. Because I don't want it to trip up. Yeah, that's probably a better length, isn't it? Okay, but this is all about designing as you go, really, isn't it? I'll be back in a minute. So I feel a bit more up to date now, and I'm literally on the second line of the stitches. While I was off camera, I did give it a trim as well, just to keep it nice and tidy. Lovely. So also, whilst I was off camera, I cut out my flower petals. So, but these are literally just circles, and I have done 12 of each. All I'm going to do now is I have the seam there, and I'm going to just run some stitches along here, and that will secure the bag. I'm probably going to do it twice as well. Might be clever and go backwards. There we go. Make sure this folds around. I don't want a twist in it, and I've done that before. So keep those seams flat. Give it a couple more stitches. quickly. So, and that's all up to date, except for I didn't sew at all. I wonder why. Maybe I need to change my bobbin. Okay. I'm not keen when things like that happen, you know. I do think it's a bit unfair. There we go. So I've got another bobbin thread. I will just quickly do that. Sorry to waste your time. I had no idea that was going to happen. But I've got 1/2 fill here. And I'm going to use red as a contrasting colour to highlight everything. So it doesn't matter that it's got red stitches on the inside. So let's go back and just double check that I'm not sewing with a twist in it. Hokey cokey. There we go. And then I'm going backwards in a sort of angle so that it's kind of like an N shape. Or a zigzag. There we are. It makes me feel happy, so there we are. Okay, well let's get to the decorating because that's a bit more fun, isn't it? So I have cut out my petals and I have chosen to do yellow ones, and I don't know whether 4 or yeah, you can have a fiddle around with this. Originally I was going to do 4. Yeah. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going back to my original plan, sorry. And I am literally, all I'm going to do is I'm joining 2 of these together. And I am going to sew circles on each of them, just to make them a bit fatter and a bit more defined. Or maybe I'll do that on 4 of them, on one flower, and the other flower I'll do slightly different. Okay. So yeah, I've given myself a hem allowance as well, so that I can trim them. And these can be as big or small as you like. Maybe I should stop filming again, this is quite boring, isn't it? Yeah, I think I'll do that. Okay, I'm just going to do that, and I'll be back in a minute. Sorry about that. The more I've done, the easier I found it. I must admit, originally, the first one, I was like, oh, this is quite hard. So I wasn't going to do any more. I'm just going to finish off this last of the 4 of the yellow. But there we are. So, and then I'm just going to trim them. Alright, now the last job for the sewing machine is to attach the button. Attach the clasp of the button. So I've got my red felt here. Now I'm going to highlight, the buttons I'm using for the flowers are bright red, so I quite like that idea. Now I'm literally just going to cut and twist a couple of times so that it looks how I want it, and then I'm going to sew it on the top of the bag. There we go. And then I'm going to twist it. And then I'm going to continue sewing. So that's great. So we're finished with the sewing machine now. And we're moving on to do the decoration. Now I've got a selection of buttons here. They're purple and red. And I'm going to use embroidery thread to sew on the buttons, because I think that'll look nice. And I have this, well, I suppose it's lilac and Air Force blue thread. Now, when I got it, I bought it in a multi-pack. When I got it, I was a bit like, well, what on earth can I use that for? So I now know, a year later, and answers to my questions. Might be a good point to tell you, but I am collecting all these bits of felt. I know it seems like I'm being really wasteful, but I'm collecting them, and I'm quite glad that I've got quite a collection. This will become apparent in another project, so, you know, it's just a Fiona thing. Alright, now I wanted to do 4 petals, 4 petals and a button in the centre. So I hope you can see that. Let me move. No, you can't see it. So yes, quite simply, I'm literally just tacking it on with embroidery thread. It's going through the felt really nicely. It hasn't got a problem at all with it. And then I'm going to use it to sew on a button. Yeah, it didn't have a problem going through for the first couple of times, but it did have a problem going through over the top of itself. So if you can find a way to pin it, or that would be even better, so that you don't have that problem. And it might be a bit quicker as well if you can just sew the buttons on to hold the petals in place. So I'm just pulling it through here, and okay, well, it's all learning for me, isn't it? So here we go. I'm going to tie that in a knot. I might come back and do a bit more, or maybe in a strong thread. So I also want to put the button to secure it at the front. So I can do that now. And again, I'm going to use the embroidery thread because I just think it looks really nice. I think it makes a nice change. Lovely. There we are. And then I am going to do my last flower. Now this one, I am not even going to try and do one every individual. I'm literally making sure that I've got all 4 petals attached. Then I'm going to pull the needle through, and then I'm going to get them all straight, how I would like them. And then I'll put another thread through just to hold it in place, and then I'll grab the button. Now, like I said, I've got no problem at all with trimming this all afterwards. It's basically one of those things, I can trim it afterwards, so I might as well. Okay, well, there's a good start for me to finish at the moment. I'm going to pause the camera, and then I'm going to take some of these out of here because there's an awful lot in that one. And we'll have our little bag, but I do want to tidy it up before I finish. Okay, so I'm pausing the film again, and literally all I have to do is trim all these bits of thread and tidy it all up and maybe put a few more stitches in the button. Hello there, so I've literally trimmed all my ends because I hate doing that. I hope you agree. I think it's a really cute little bag. I think if I made it again, I would definitely make the 2-layer with the stitching round for the buttons. I just think it looks so much more fun. And I just want to say why I thought the bags were a good idea for Easter. Not everybody can eat chocolate nowadays, so yes, it makes it still a really nice present, even though they may not be able to have chocolate. Alright, thank you for watching. Do subscribe, do like, and hopefully I'll see you again.